Hey, what's going on, fans and fellow YouTubers? Elric here once again with Buddy the Dog and G behind the camera to bring you guys another extra crispy 4K video. You guys have been waiting a long time to see the Deep Cool Tri-Stellar system in action, and so we have built that system. We actually chose our own name because we didn't like any of the names that were down there. Sorry, guys. So we're calling this one the X Factor, and it's, has that brand new 1080 card, and we did something a little different than we have done on all of our systems in the past. This time we did our build, which obviously, sometimes we have a lot of parts that we get for review, so our systems are usually based on high dollar stuff. But this time, we actually give you guys a choice between higher value parts, or not higher value parts, higher price parts, more like it, and parts that you can actually afford. So with that said, let's check out the X Factor and let's see how much it kicks ass. Hi-ya! Now obviously, folks, the case for this system is the Deep Cool Tri-Stellar case, and the only motherboards you can use in this case are mini ITX boards. So the mini ITX board we chose was one by Gigabyte. This is the Z170N Gaming 5 motherboard. It has a lot of features all packed into a very small board. If you guys want to see the unboxing and features, we'll have a link to that down below as well. Now, as far as the CPUs go, we actually tested with two different CPUs, taking in mind that some people can't afford the highest end i7 6700K. So we tested with both that and an i5 6400. Both of them actually scored pretty close, and I think there's not that great of a difference to make somebody totally go, oh my god, it's either i7 or nothing. Now for the video card, in our build, we used the brand new 1080 Founders Edition card, but the only one that we could find on the market was actually at over $1,100, and that's crazy shit. You guys should be waiting for other cards to come out. So we actually chose a 980 that was less than $600 for your alternate card for this build. Now the memory that we use is very, very expensive stuff. I'll say that right off the bat. It's the Corsair Dominator Platinum Series 32GB kit, and this thing's pretty expensive. It's $249.99. So you might not want to use this in your build, but we have an alternate that you can definitely afford. And that's the Corsair Vengeance LPX 32GB kit. This kit's only $129 for fast-ass DDR4 memory. As far as storage space goes, it's very limited choices when you're using the Tri-Stellar case. In fact, it only takes 2.5-inch drives, so we decided to use 3 of them and fill all of those bays up. Like usual, you guys can choose something different, but we use the Kingston HyperX 3K drives in ours. Now these are 240GB SATA 3 drives that are very fast, but they're very pricey as well. But if you want to save yourself some money, you guys can use the Kingston HyperX Savage drives. These drives are only $90 for the same 240GB of storage space. Steam is where I keep most of my games, so the biggest drive I reserve for that account, and that's the Zotac Premium Edition 480GB SSD, and this thing right now is at an amazing fucking price. This thing's $159, so I just have to mention that. It's actually cheaper right now than some of the 240GB drives from other companies you guys can see in the video. So obviously we needed something to cool the CPU, and I wanted to get something that was an all-in-one cooler that would actually fit like a glove inside of the Tri-Stellar. So we chose the Corsair Hydro Series H75, and this thing fit inside of that case like it was made for it. And powering the X Factor system is the Corsair RM Series RM750i. We've actually used this in a few builds because it's a fully modular power supply that comes into market at 80 plus gold for under 140 bucks. Doing cable management inside of the Tri-Stellar case is not an easy feat, but we were actually able to do a pretty damn good job. And you guys can see that pretty much all the cables are hidden and that there's no airflow restrictions through the system whatsoever. The airflow itself isn't the absolute best in this system, but no cable management is getting in the way. You guys can see that there are all kinds of lights inside of the X Factor system. I know some of you guys like it, some of you hate it. Me personally, I actually dig it quite a bit, but Deep Cool was actually able to ship us one of their brand new Hue lighting systems. And this thing's like 30 bucks, but what's cool about it is you can operate the entire thing by remote control, and it has all kinds of different flavors that you can choose. You can make it solid, you can make it do rainbow colors, you can even make it dance to a disco beat or whatever you want. So it offers a little bit more than just your standard lighting, and it's all built into the kit. And last but not least, I know some of you people out there feel that a system's not complete without a Windows disk, so we included Windows 10 in our price. But like I said, there's also all kinds of options out there for you guys to change the system around. We gave you a few to choose from, but there's some things you're not going to be able to really change. You're not going to be able to really get a cheaper price in the case. The motherboard's going to be about the same. The CPUs are going to be about the same. Power supply about the same. So all those things are pretty much in a fixed rate. I mean, if you want to use low-end crap and make your build, you could probably do that. I would not recommend that whatsoever. I want my build to run totally awesome. And one thing I want to mention, right now, the system is on and running. It's been on and running the entire time that we filmed this video. So I know some people out there are gonna go, oh my God, dude, why do you use a water cooler and you don't totally like overclock everything? Well, I personally prefer to have my system completely silent. I'm kind of like the Germans in this way. I like my system to run totally silent so that when I'm in my room, I don't hear something going and that actually, you know, kind of bounces over to NVIDIA and their 1080 card as well, because you guys know in the past, most of the video cards that come out really from either company have these frickin' wind-blowing lawnmower fans that just are like, this system runs completely silent. Now, if I wanted to overclock the frack out of this thing, I could turn the fans up and I can overclock it. But for right now, what we're doing, I prefer a totally silent system. Another thing that you guys ask for, you're like, hey man, why don't you ever recommend some other stuff? Well, I'm not gonna recommend your keyboard and your mouse because I honestly feel like that's kind of like tastes like in your girlfriend. Like, you like what you like, you may not like what I like. A friend of mine named Adrian, I love this keyboard. So I said, hey dude, I'm gonna send you this keyboard as a gift, dude. He goes, dude, what in the fuck did you send me? I hate it. And this is a very, very high-end keyboard. I'm not gonna mention any names, but basically I found out my friend hates mechanical keyboards. He just doesn't like them at all. He likes these old membrane little soft touchy things. So I'm not gonna recommend that stuff, but what I am gonna recommend is 2 monitors for you. And what I wanna say here as well is that as far as monitor goes, the difference between a 4K monitor and a 1440 monitor isn't really very much. You're better off, I think, to get a 4K monitor. So let's check out the 2 that I'm recommending. So the first monitor choice is obviously a 4K monitor with 3840 by 2160 resolution. This is the ASUS PB287Q. It's a black 20-inch monitor that's coming into the market at under $500, and right now it's actually $50 off, which is 10% off the major price. And for the 2560 by 1440 monitor, we chose one from Philips. Now, this nomenclature is very long. It's the 272 S4 LPJCB 27-inch monitor. It features a 16:9 aspect ratio, height adjustment, pivot. It also has stereo speakers built in, so if you don't want to buy extra speakers, they're built into the monitor. This monitor is on sale right now for $300, which is 12% off the normal price. All right, folks, so there you have it, the X Factor system with a couple of different variations for your choice. Now we're going to show you the scores, and remember, we tested this with both the i7 and the i5 CPU, so you can get your choice of what you want to buy. there you have it in your face, the X Factor system based off that deep cool tri-stellar case that everyone loves. And I hope you guys really appreciate the fact that we took the time to find lower price parts. That way you guys could afford to build a system at a little lower cost here than we did. Like usual though, all these parts and everything that we talked about today will be listed down below that like button. Hope you guys just liked this video, and if you did, you know what the frack to do about it. So I'm Elric, GB on the camera, Buddy the dog, our mascot. We got more videos coming up for you, more 1080 stuff, and there's lots of exciting stuff coming around the corner. More releases. See you later. Think 10.